X Games. Metallica are your headliner. James Hetfield from Metallica here. Flood relief. The proceeds from the recordings of the show this evening, those are going to donate the flood relief effort here. And ultimately, I mean, this is a chance for you to give back, but not necessarily necessary, and it's something you guys have done a lot over the years.
Well, it makes sense to us now. You know, we've been given so much, and we're in such a position that, God, we've been doing what we love for 30 some odd years, and it just feels right. It's not something we like advertising or doing any of that stuff, but for us, gosh, we get to come here and play, and people enjoy that, and then whatever proceeds, can help out the state. We like doing local stuff.
I mean, looking back, the tour history of Metallica, there were a lot of early shows in Austin and San Antonio, and San Antonio naturally a metal town, but this is a place that took to Metallica really early.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, I don't know if it was whatever, the weather or something, man. There was something in the water that people really took to it. Out of all the states, in the early days, us traveling across the country, especially the early days, Texas was one that gravitated towards the heavier side of things.
The heavier side of things have always been connected, although the band sort of actually predates what we know as extreme sports, but there's always been that connection there. I mean, and down to you breaking your arm skateboarding, but we know that there's a connection between Metallica and extreme sports that obviously comes together here at the X Games.
Well, you just watch us on stage. You see us, I mean, I'm sitting here kind of almost being normal, and then you get on stage and the music does something to you. It makes me, it contorts me in ways, and it energizes me in such a way. I believe that's how it has helped people in sports. And no matter what you think about this, I mean, this is a sport and beyond. This is pushing human limits. And like when we're doing a show, I mean, I have trouble with that song, and then you get up there and you're just playing it because you're at like another level. It's like, this is the Olympics for us, playing on stage. When you're rehearsing, it's like, yeah, whatever. But same for these cats, So for us to be able to contribute to someone, excelling what they've done before, because it's not really who's best. It's really, have you done better than you did before, improving. So we love contributing to that.
Well, and this isn't golf where the audience is quiet and they're supposed to whisper. I mean, and so ultimately it's similar to rock and roll in that there's that energy exchange between the athlete and the crowd and the performer and the crowd, and they feed off of that the same way you would, right?
I think any athlete really does that, and I don't know. I'm just making this up, but maybe even golfers. I mean, they must get something. The whispers were really loud. I don't know what they get, but they must get something. I mean, just like when we write a song and you could sit there and listen to it over and over and over, but until someone else comes and sits down and you play it for them, you're hearing it differently. You're hearing it because you want them to absorb it the same way you are. So you think, ooh, that I can improve on that part. I can improve on that part. Maybe that's just the people-pleasing part of human nature, but you want someone to feel like you're feeling when you hear it. So that's what we're after. So when we're up on stage, and yeah, it's an exchange of energy. There's no doubt about it. When I'm not feeling 100%, I go and I kind of suck it out of somebody for a little bit, and then when I got it, I give it back.
And I think that's probably the thing that hasn't changed about Metallica shows over the years is that you can put your hand to your ear, ask the crowd to roar, and they're going to do that. And what's that feel like when you're that guy that's getting that kind of call and response?
It's kind of, well, it's like an ultimate family, for us, or especially for me. When I'm able to just be honest and ask, hey, help sing this part, or I screwed up the words and they sing it for me. It's like, man, they really do have our back, and we don't look at things as mistakes. There are no mistakes that happen. There's just, unique ways of doing it for that day. We go up there and we play it, and so there's just such a freedom when the crowd has your back, there's such a freedom to be able to even explore more up there or to even do better, because you know you're not out there to impress people. You're out there just to deliver what you've got in you.
When you were in Austin in '83, you couldn't have imagined this, right? I mean, there's just no way that this was something that you thought was viable this long, right? Or maybe it was.
You know, it was all dreams, and dreams, I believe that if you think it can happen, it'll be happening. The power of attraction. I mean, we wanted this to be our calling. We wanted this to be what we were doing in life and contributing, making a living off of, raising our family with. This is where our passion lied, and the fact that we are still here after 33, 4 years, we're totally blessed and extremely grateful for that. But honestly, when we were just starting out, we didn't care. We just wanted to play that day. If I played that day, I was happy. Whatever happened the next day was a new adventure. We never thought way too far ahead, and even now, we never looked back either, really. But I think the last few albums, the older we get, the more we kind of look back and get inspired from it as well.
All right. Well, they are the little band from the van is now here at the X Games and as your headliner. That's James Hetfield from Metallica headlining the X Games, and like we said, the MP3s, the digital download of the live performance from the X Games will benefit the flood relief effort. From here at the Circuit of America's racetrack, Andy Langer, Time Warner Cable News.